Hi everybody, the event I am going to talk about today shook the world economies, destroyed the life savings of the people, left many people jobless, and forced the millions of families to homelessness.
There was a dispute over a mortgage, and Mrs. Grace Jones and her family find themselves in the open. But they're not discouraged and carry on just as though they had walls surrounding them.
That's the Great Depression. We seen the coronavirus, 2008 financial crisis and dot-com bubble. But this story happened in 1929. In this video, let us understand what is Great Depression, why does it shake the world economies and destroyed many people's lives, and what are the lessons can we learn from it. Let's get started. The year was 1918. After 4 years of the conflict, the First World War was finally over.
It wasn't a fighter plane, a tank, or a battleship that spelled the end of the First World War.
America declared as one of the victor. Soldiers are back from the war and many people started doing their jobs. More people started getting jobs and people getting high salaries. America started growing faster. It's all happened just because government added the stimulus to the economy. If you ask me what is the stimulus, here is the small explanation. Stimulus is a fancy word most of the economists use. It means flowing the extra money to the economy. But how does they do it? Simple. By decreasing the interest rates. You might ask, what will happen if interest rates come down? Everything starts from interest rate only. And your life, my life, all of the nation's life depends on the interest rate only. When the interest rates go down, the companies can borrow money at cheap rates. When they borrow money at cheap rates, with that money, they expand their businesses. When they expand their business, they hire more people. When they hire more people started getting the salary. What people do with their salary, they start spending on things they like. So when they spend things, and companies again going to get more profit, and this cycle goes again and again. And same happened in American economy. When companies can borrow at cheap interest rates and they started expanding and they hire more people and more people get the salary, and with the salary buying things crazy. Back then vacuum cleaner and washing machine were so famous in the market. They were sold like hotcakes. Now things started looking pretty good. Banks started giving more loans to the people and more people started buying gadgets and cars, and this upcycle made the many companies rich. When people got more salary, they started looking for investments. People were back then started investing like crazy and stock market became so popular thing back then. Investors started hallucinating it's so easy to make money in the stock markets. Soon everyone started thinking in Wall Street they are like a 1920s Warren Buffetts. Everybody, cooks, taxi drivers and shoe shiners. Back then everybody was trading like crazy and poured their life savings in the markets and buying whatever stock popular in the day and dreaming on this profit hallucination. Even to make more money, these people started borrowing money from the bank to invest, and banks are getting incredible interest, and this is when the bad thing happened. The same banks borrowed money from customers' bank accounts to invest in the markets. All the things looking very good, America looking growing fast from the outside, when no one noticed from the inside. People are making really good money in the markets, and by the year 1929, America's wealth doubled. Dow Jones, America's index, up by 218% since 1922, and suddenly production of the goods started going down. People started buying less things because they getting less salary. That's happening just because companies are making less profit, and people started living on debt and bought things on borrowed money, and suddenly the interest rates started rising. Interest on debt started growing fast. Now companies can't borrow money at cheap interest. Even this all happening in the background, stock market is high. That's really bad sign, because stock markets will go high when companies make more profit. Still stock market is going up means there is a bad thing happening in the background. When economy looks worst and investors ignoring all of these things, and that's when problems started. In October 24, 1929, called Black Thursday, and that date was starting of the Great Depression. Suddenly when the markets opened, investors started selling the stocks. In such a way, 12.9 million shares were sold in one day. Dow Jones fell 11% in that day, and the stock markets fall drastically within few months, erased the most of the America's wealth. Some shares are now worthless. People lost their life savings. Americans who borrowed the money on interest crushed under the debt burden. The Great Depression and the economic downturn started happen. Dow Jones fall almost 90% in 3 years, and every $10 invested getting back only $1. Many companies started shutting down. People started losing their jobs. And not only investors, banks also which borrowed money to invest, they also lost the money. By the 1933, around 9,000 American banks declared failure, and that contributed to future economy loss and unemployment. Once the banks fail in any country, the country will completely shut down. Unemployment reaches high in America. Homelessness, soup kitchens are so common in the days. Imagine a guy invested or borrowed money to invest or even held the money in the bank account. All of guys lost the money. 1930 was a tough time for the American economy. All economies in the world faced the same recession just because America called us a parent market of the world. And what are the lessons can we learn from this story? People should always remember, it's really important to invest, but it's crime to invest without understanding. Lesson number 2. Debt. Debt is a two-sided sword. It's have a ability to make you or break you. Buying things on debt always break us financially. And remember, we should always buy things where we could afford them at least twice. And lesson number 3. We have a myth in India. When we put money in the bank, it's safe. But that's really wrong. Do you know up to 5 lakhs are insured by the government in India? Whatever money on the top of 5 lakhs, that will be gone if bank shutdowns. So that's what I would like to tell today. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe. And what you guys thinking, let me know in the comment section.